G'day everyone, it's Jeff from Northeast Wildlife Control, and today I'm going around and we're going to do an update on illegal rubbish dumping around Benalla. I've come down this morning. First stop is to Nursery Lane, where a couple of weeks ago there were photos taken of quite a lot of rubbish that had been illegally dumped. Number of agencies involved, all saying we're going to clean it up, and plenty of public outrage and concern. So I thought, let's come down and have a bit of a look. So as you can see, it's quite a nice spot here. It is bushland, and come down. I haven't had to walk too far, not far at all, and we've got well-worn vehicle tracks, as you can see here. We'll walk over to the edge of the creek bank, and already the remains of a tent. Geez people, if you come down, come camping, take your old dilapidated tent with you. Don't just leave it here. It becomes a trap for wildlife. It clogs up the waterways. Absolutely shocking. Just show some accountability, show some responsibility. Take all your rubbish with you. Let's have a look and see what else we can find. So here we are now, less than 100 metres from the vehicle and from the dilapidated tent. Oh, holy dooly, look at that, Macca's wrappers. How great. We're a fair way from McDonald's. And I'm finding all sorts of stuff here. Discarded bottles. Our pet hate of any snake catcher, apart from bird netting, is empty cans. Now, you can see I'm picking it up using a snake hook here, simply because I'm checking to make sure that there's nothing actually gone in there. There's no snake that's actually gone in there and got trapped, or is using it as a hiding spot. Juveniles will fit in through the holes and actually get in there and use it as a hiding spot. Larger snakes, they get their heads caught in there, and if they're not found in time, they die a very slow, painful death. Take your rubbish with you. Leave no trace. This is unbelievable. We've got beer bottles, more cans. Yeah, by all means, come out and enjoy the area, enjoy the environment. We all want to do that. But the inhabitants here, the wildlife, they live here. They want to keep living here in safety. Show some respect to it. We're in their domain. You've got this beautiful creek area here. Absolutely fantastic. Come down and enjoy it, but don't leave a trace that you've been here. Take your rubbish with you. You know, this is the other concern that was put up, was graffiti on the trees. Now, we have been assured by Parks Victoria that they're going to come out and remediate that. Exactly how they're going to remediate it, I'm going to be keen to come back in a couple of weeks' time and see how that's going to be done without scarring the tree permanently. But we'll keep going on our walk. Let's see what else we can find. This is what we should all be able to enjoy. The wildlife as well as us. Enjoy the natural environment. No rubbish illegally dumped. No litter. It's absolutely fantastic. Just, as I said, take some ownership, take some accountability, show some accountability and responsibility. When you come into places like this, take your rubbish with you. And certainly don't come out to places like this with loads of rubbish and dump them here. Now, as I alluded to earlier, this is a state park. It is a reserve, and basically, I mean, if people keep coming out and dumping rubbish and just leaving the place in a shambles, that will be the end result. Locked gates, signs up that say management vehicles and walkers only, and they'll just restrict access. No one wants that. We all want to enjoy our environment, enjoy the national parks and enjoy the fresh air. Let's respect it. Take your rubbish with you. So okay, I've been for a good walk down along the creek, down here at the end of Nursery Lane, and yes, I found some litter. Yes, we found the old discarded tent, but the majority of the area, I'm happy to say today, is natural bushland. Now, what we'll do is I'm going to go from here, we'll go up to one of the worst spots, which is up into Reef Hill State Park, and let's have a look and see what we can find up there. So here we are, back out at Reef Hill State Park, just outside of Benalla. And as you can see, access is really good. It's a fantastic area. It's used by horse riders, mountain bike riders, push bike riders of all sorts, bushwalkers, and of course people like me to come and release protected wildlife into their natural environment. 12 months ago I was out here and we started a campaign about illegal rubbish dumping. There was a lot of attention drawn to it. We called on the support and received support from our local member, Steph Ryan, member for Euroa. Cameras were installed by Parks Victoria at entranceways, and we're now finding that the rubbish dumping has not decreased. If anything, it has increased. And evidently, the cameras that were installed, the story from Parks Victoria via the Minister is that the cameras were ineffective because their resolution wasn't good enough to detect identifiable features of motor vehicles coming in and exiting the state park, illegally dumping rubbish, which is a real shame, and as far as I'm concerned it raises further questions as to why the cameras weren't replaced in the first place if they were found to be ineffective. And as you can see on the map here, Reef Hill State Park covers a fair swathe of area. There's old mines in here. It's a fantastic place. It's historic value is unreal. The Field and Game Association, they come in here. They've actually got a range in here. We get, you know, lace monitors, all your venomous snakes, honey eaters. We've got possums. We've got all, you know, kangaroos, all sorts of wildlife in here, and we need to respect that. We need to look after their environment. It's our environment too, and it's here for us all to enjoy. So let's go for a drive and let's see what we can find. There we go. That's less than 3 minutes into the Reef Hill State Park. Bingo. We're onto it again. We've got the dumping of palm fronds, you know, garden rubbish. Oh look, yeah, beauty. KFC, and yeah, one of everyone's favourites. Now this is absolutely horrendous. A mattress. Gee whiz, folks, absolutely unbelievable. Now these things burn like an absolute hooer, and this just increases the fire danger out here in the state park. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's just see what we've got under here, if anything. Nothing. But yeah, so we've got a mattress out here. Let's see what else and how much further we have to go. 150 to 200 metres up from where we found the mattress and the palm fronds. Here we've got a nice, someone's dumped that out of their garden. It's garden refuse. That's come out of a trailer. Good on you. Concrete, that certainly doesn't belong out here in the state park. other waste and rubbish that's been spread around, you know, and I'm sorry, but there is no excuse for it. Plenty of people bag the council and say it's because the tip isn't free or because it's too expensive. No, take some responsibility for your actions and get rid of the rubbish responsibly. Here we go, we've got another empty can. Make sure there's nothing in it. Yeah, so we haven't come too far into Reef Hill State Park. Let's keep going, see what else we can find. Okay, so I'm actually down at the southern end of Reef Hill State Park. I've driven right through down Reef Hills Road from one end to the other. We found a bit of rubbish, as we saw. It's interesting because there's very clear signs at each entrance to the park. No firearms, no littering. That includes all sorts of rubbish, not just leaving your empty cans and drink bottles, etc. behind. Don't blame the council and their tip fees. Don't blame DELP and Parks Victoria for not doing their job. They have large areas of land that they're responsible for. They can't just be in one state park. We as a community need to be far more responsible and stop dumping rubbish into our natural environment. Plenty of people I've seen and heard have come up with solutions for getting rid of things like mattresses, strip them down. Different things go different places. The steel for the springs is a recyclable material. Use your common sense, use the brains you were born with, and show some respect to the environment and to having facilities like state parks, like Reef Hills, on the doorstep of towns that we can all enjoy. No one wants to see places like this locked up so that we can't access it. And stop and think for 1 second, just for 1 second, about our native wildlife. This is their home. If you don't want the rubbish in your home, don't bring it out and leave it in their home. They don't deserve it. The environment doesn't deserve it. And we can't just keep going on doing things like this. So I've just covered one road and two areas today. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to delve further into Reef Hills and we'll video checking around near some of the old mines and the mine shafts. Because people have made it pretty clear to me that there's some pretty amazing stuff being dumped down the mine shafts. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll see what further action we can get. Stuff needs to be cleaned up, but it wouldn't need to be cleaned up if people stop dumping it. One of my best suggestions, apart from respecting the environment and respecting our wildlife, is, and respecting the community by not dumping this stuff, is think of like that mattress that we found. That could possibly have been reused, but rather than advertise it free to someone who may need it, living a bit rough or down on their luck, having a hard time with things, no, we come and dump it out here in the state park. It's got to stop. Have a think. Another thing, just have a think. Maybe it's time for people to be that person and dob in a dumper. Report actionable information, addresses, registration numbers, dates and times. Report it to DELP. Report it to Parks Victoria. Report it to your local Shire Council. Report it to the EPA. Then it can be acted on. Then stuff can be done about it. Because people dumping this stuff out here in this environment need to be prosecuted. They need to be made to pay. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, enjoy your day, enjoy the environment, enjoy the state parks. Stay safe, everyone.